Hello, everyone, and welcome to Records of the Realms. My name is Jocelyn. I am your record keeper for tonight's one-shot. I am super stoked to be here. It's my first ever one-shot on the Records channel, so here we go. Before to make about what's going on in Records of the Realms currently. So next week we have a couple of things happening. We have Team Flare Light and Fire is on Wednesday the 25th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then 2 days later, Meg, our wonderful record keeper Meg, is running a D&D 5e game called Cretaceous Playground. It's dinos and D&D. There's what can possibly go wrong. And that is on Friday the 27th at 7:30 Eastern. Also, Darkness Arc, which Zella and I are in, is every Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern. I can talk. And then next month we have 2 games which are getting cast. We have a game of Absurdia being run by the wonderful Mika, and then I will be running my second ever one-shot because Records of the Realms has made the grave mistake of inviting me into their doors, and now I'm like a cat that chose you, and I will never leave.
It was never a mistake, Joss.
I own this place.
It was by design.
I love you.
I linked the bridge between Ramithra and Records of the Realms and said, all of you join me over here.
Yeah, that's why I'm here now.
Incredible. And then we also, so I'll be running Candela Obscura, but a lot of good things happening. So support your TTRPG friends and play some fun games. So let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Jocelyn. I am usually running my homebrew world of Romithra. We'll be playing kind of an AU version of Romithra tonight, sort of a Romithra light, if you will, which is based on fairy tales and folk tales and mythology. So I did create this world originally in D&D 5e, but we will be playing, of course, Thirsty Sword Lesbians tonight, which I'm super stoked about. Let's just quickly go around. Don't introduce your characters yet. Let's just introduce your name and your pronouns and a quick, elevator blurb of where we can find you. Let's start with Echo.
Howdy, I am Echo. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on all the socials at Yes, I'm Baby. The punctuation is different on different socials because people stole my name. Anyways, but you'll mostly see me around records when it comes to D&D stuff.
Awesome. Zella, you're next.
Hey guys, I'm Crazella. A lot of people just call me Zella. My pronouns are she, her. You guys can find me here on Twitch. I'm at Darkness Arc table on Sunday. We just did Jocelyn's Good Society player table last month. Yeah, days are hard because I'm remembering numbers. Social media, same normal places at Crazella or Crazella Creations. I'm so excited to play Thirsty Sword Lesbians tonight.
I love it. All right, I'm just going in order of what's on the Twitch screen. So next is Pinto.
Hi everyone. I'm Pinto. My pronouns are she, her. I've been absorbed into, this is only my second stream. I've been doing a lot of D&D. I've been trying to get into new opportunities and new systems. So when this opportunity came around for Thirsty Sword Lesbians, I was like, give me. And I've been absorbed and brought over by Echo and Jocelyn. So I'm here now. I'm in your walls.
Welcome. And last but certainly not least, we have Friendship.
Hi, I am Friendship, and I use she, they pronouns, and I am either on Twitch, I'm Friendship Plays, everywhere else, I'm Friendship in Fantasy. This is also my second time streaming, but I've been playing and DMing a D&D campaign for a couple of years now, so I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. And thank you, of course, to the wonderful Meloette for being our producer behind the curtain. I'm going to do a very quick blurb of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and then we're going to get into the opening description without further ado. Thirsty Sword Lesbians is powered by the Apocalypse system, which means it uses 2d6s. That is all our players will be rolling. I will be rolling nothing.
I forgot to get my dice out.
Yeah, that might be, this is one of the reasons I actually said this, is I had a feeling that we needed to get out some dice. Like all
Speak for
powered by
yourself, I came prepared.
like all powered by the apocalypse systems, there is a set of circumstances that can happen depending on what you roll that you will notice as we go through the night. And my players, I have told them to please ask questions because I think y'all should pick up this game. It's super fun. All right, my lovely princesses, your royal highnesses, are you ready?
Born ready.
Let's go.
The cool autumn breeze swims over as if the air itself is the ocean over the coastline city of Hiberia, a bustling industrial haven of new discoveries, both arcane and mechanical and agricultural. It is a city of opportunity, invention, and interestingly enough, quite a bit of tradition despite the innovation. The cobblestone streets look like any kind of street you might see out of a fairy tale, especially leading up to the steps of Hiberia Castle. Hiberia Castle is a beautiful white marble with gray slate and some sandstone. It looks a bit like a I don't know how to describe it. It looks a bit like a sandcastle, just sitting close to the edge of the shore. And it is a monument against the salty air. However, it is nighttime now, so that instead of the usual blue skies that will often crown Hiberia with a lovely hood of gauze, it has become instead the heavier star-covered headband that crosses over the dome of the city. It is a full moon tonight. It is beautiful, and it is perfect for one Prince Charles Charming's 21st birthday party. Much to a certain someone's chagrin. Charles, though being the youngest, is the male of the family, meaning he is next in line to the charming Hiberia throne. For those of you who know Romithra, this is an AU, so don't worry, I'm not rewriting history. But we're going to take a brief moment to introduce each of our princesses. And as I told you guys before stream, I would like you to start first with a vignette of the last activity you did in sort of your comfort zone. And then I want to know how you appear at this party. And so I will have you mention your character's name, the description, the pronouns, and I think also your playbook. Thirsty Sword Lesbians, like classes in D&D, has playbooks. So actually, I'm going to go in reverse order, not to throw you under the bus, friendship, but we are going to start with you. Where do we find Bella as like the last moment of calm before this party?
Well, Bella is reading in her library, in her little window nook, waiting for the very last moment till she finally has to get ready to go. Bella uses she, her pronouns, and she is dressed in a modest yellow gown and has been waiting patiently to show up fashionably late.
And what playbook will you be playing tonight?
Oh, and Bella is playing from the Beast playbook.
So you'll get to see that in action as we go. Bella, are you wearing that modest yellow dress as you enter the grand hall of the castle?
I am.
Lovely. And I will describe what it looks like once all of our princesses have entered. We're now going to go to our dear Princess Charlotte Charming. If you would kindly tell us, this is your domain. What's the last moment before you have to make an appearance at this frickin' thing?
I'll leave that to the last. I will introduce the character of Princess Charlotte Charming, but I'm going to go by Charming for short. The pronouns will be she, her, and the playbook that I'm playing today is the Devoted, or the it is the Devoted. And not to break the mold, but I feel like there is no exact calm in the life of this this royal princess, even while she is being prepared for this ball. I feel like she's being briefed for what we know is to come. She's coming into this event with a specific agenda in mind. The vital responsibility that she needs to act upon and act under is being preached to her, and she is accepting it and being very amenable to it as she's being raised. That notion of tradition you mentioned earlier to this city is baked very well into her family line, and it's just, this is normal life. I feel like what she's wearing as well is, like, again, as a figurehead of this royal family, she's not wearing a pretty dress. She's dressed in a very refined suit with ornamental pieces of armor and like an ornamental sword strapped to her waist. But of course, it's still very like functional, but fashionable as well. I can do both. I can serve.
Oh, why not? Absolutely, why not? Wonderful.
Mm.
We're going to go to Ariel or Ari.
Okay, hi guys. I'm gonna be playing Ariel or Ari tonight with the Seeker playbook. I think before the ball, Ariel would probably show up almost early to kind of go hang out at like the coastline near the
Aw.
party. She's very comfortable near the ocean, and would just be kind of like probably collecting like little bits and bobs that she finds. But as far as like getting ready for the party, like when she's done kind of hanging out along the coast, would probably wear more like just a very like lovely kind of like two-piece like formal attire with a very like lovely green emerald flowy skirt and probably just like a blouse. So maybe if she wanted to wear it later, she could just pair it with some pants.
Listen, as someone who wears shorts under every skirt and every dress, I'm here for it.
Yeah, she's but it's not super extravagant.
There may be sometimes distractions, as our players are real people with real things happening.
Hey. But something that maybe she would have thrifted and just kind of made a little bit nicer. 'Cause she doesn't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But she's very excited to go to this party and see everyone.
Wonderful. And last but certainly not least, if we can hear about Danielle.
So, I am playing the trickster with two faces, and the face that Danielle truly is under the mask is Cinderella. And so as she preps for the party, she is standing in front of a mirror, looking at herself, you know, kind of messing with her hair, because she looks different than the way she used to look. She used to have this long, luxurious hair, and now she's got this short little bob. And as she fiddles with a little tiara that she has, not a real one, just a little fake one, but it's kind of a symbol of her dreams. She fiddles with the tiara, kind of places it on her hair for a moment before taking it off and pulling the mask over her face to hide who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Most times that anyone sees her, basically outside of her personal home, mask covering her whole face, all you would see is her eyes. And she is in a deep navy blue sparkly gown, and she's just taking a few moments to herself with this daydream before masking and heading out to the party.
Relatable content. As you each enter in your own way, coming from different entrances, you see that Hiberia Castle is no stranger to putting on a beautiful mask, as it were, similar to our dear Danielle. The floors are a sleek gray stone, but also cushioned with some slats of wood and some carpets, depending on where you are. The ballroom, primarily. You see that the ballroom is this large expanse with a open archway towards the back that overlooks the ocean. Because the weather is nice, they have lifted the giant glass wall so that you can walk out there. When the weather is not so great, the glass wall comes down. You do see people.
What?
You do. We could hear you echo, just to let you know. I don't know what's happening. They tried to mute their mic. But you see that there are already people walking around in their outfits, just having this almost gliding. There is a small chamber group in the corner of various people playing instruments. It looks like a few strings, and then a woodwind player who is switching between clarinet, oboe, and flute. And yes, I think other than I could wax rhapsodical about this room for a while, but instead I would rather have you all come together in this moment. We established as a group that they are all friends in their own ways. So I'm going to hand it, though Echo will return shortly, to the group as what happens as you all come into this party. And I might throw through a few NPCs at you.
I definitely feel like Ari would be on the hunt for, like, nearest friend to, like, show off her little bits and bobs that she found. And, like, would just have them, like, in a very, like, very nice purse, but very inappropriate content for a party that we're having.
I'm going to say, because Bella has specifically said she's going to be fashionably late, I think the first person you run into, because she lives here, is Charming. I think that Charming, you walk down the stairs and immediately are intercepted by your friend Ariel.
I feel like she's walking down and there is the break in the usual reception, very poised, very elegant.
Mm-hmm.
But upon being intercepted by Ariel, there's the surprise and then the break, and just like, this is someone I legitimately know and I'm not interacting for appearances and connections. And there is a flush of relief that passes over Charming's face, and she says, "My dear, it is so lovely to see you. I believe you are the first of our friends to arrive." It's like, places her hands on Ariel's shoulders, a quick, like, you know, the French kiss greeting, like, again.
Yeah, Ari would definitely, like, give Charming a huge hug. Oh, it's so lovely, like, looking around, it's so nicely decorated. But also, I have to show you all of the stuff that I found earlier. And it's just, like, very, like, trying to almost stealth, like, show Charming what's in the bag. Because, like, Ari knows that this is probably not, like, very conventional, but it's just so excited.
I feel like in response to that, it's so nicely decorated, Charming just goes, it's a modest affair. In all honesty, but then
literally things are dripping with crystal and diamonds.
Dripping
There's a
gold.
champagne tower. There's an ice swan in the corner. It's just modest.
This old thing, I just threw it off.
Made of gold.
And I feel like there's a couple of things. Like, this is just how Charming is used to navigating the world of playing by social convention and playing by being an amenable host. So she sees the bag coming immediately, like, you know, eyes zero in on the bag, and scans around to make sure that there's no little particular stuffy courtier that might be potentially offended by the break in convention, in protection of the event, in protection of Ari herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she places her hands on the bag and she says, by all means, let us go find some refreshments, perhaps in the corner, and tell me all about it. I need a break in the absolute storm of preparation that I've been under. It's a siege. I would love to hear about your stories.
Of course. she's absolutely not picking up on any cue that this should not be going on, and that you're just like hurting her, and she's okay, and she's like lifting up like a little like piece of like abalone as like you guys are just moving along.
I will say it seems fair that as you head to the food table, I did hear a certain someone did always, quote, have food on the mind. So, Bella, would it be fair to say that they find you at the refreshment
That's
table?
where you are.
You read my mind. The first thing Bella did when she arrived was she grabbed a glass of champagne as somebody walked by there, a little hors d'oeuvre off of that tray there, and is at the buffet table. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh!
Isabella, my love, I was not aware that you were presented. Did you not come in the standard grand entrance?
Oh. No, was I supposed to do that? I wish.
It would have been preferred, but I can smooth it over. Don't worry yourself. We are indeed here to have an excellent time.
Oh god, I was just so hungry. Famished.
You see that it is a glorious spread. It is just like any kind of fancy food that you could want, but also like a sprinkling. I feel like Charles had some say in the food. Your brother is very much a self-proclaimed man of the people, Charming. AKA he spends more time partying in town than he does at the castle. So you definitely see like pigs on a blanket, sliders.
3 of those.
And I will say that Danielle, I think you probably, again, I would be shocked if you came in through the front entrance where everyone else does. Danielle, I think you see your 3 friends standing at the refreshment table. You see Ari is showing little trinkets, and yeah.
Danielle approach. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Clearly, the mute thing on this don't work.
Technical difficulties.
It's alright, we might hold it against you.
Danielle approaches her friends, giving quick hugs to all of them, excited to see them for this party. They're a little on edge because, like I said, when it started, they were having their princess thoughts before they came in. Mm-hmm. So they're a little on edge. It's like, so many princesses. I'll never be a princess.
I was gonna say, Danielle, did you try these pigs in a blanket? They're absolutely so delicious. They're so good.
The chefs were working day and night. Truly, I put in an extra note for them. I knew of your tastes.
I think
You're
Danielle,
please go ahead.
Danielle would take one at your insistence and just like sneak it under the mask.
Incredible. And I don't mean to cut off this happy girl time, but I think at this point you all hear a very telltale behind you. And you see that Charles Charming himself is standing there with some familiar guys. You see that one of them is a very handsome, dark-haired, tanned, sunburned perpetually across the face. You know that this is Prince Eric of Folios. You see a very kind of shy, but like very tall and broad gentleman with kind of like shaggy light brown hair. He's very much a gentle giant type. Looks like he could bench press you, but cannot keep his eyes like away from his feet. You know that is Prince Adam of Octavo. You also see this gentleman who is wearing like a feathered cap, which looks very out of place, and a cape that he is clearly tripping over. It's way too long for him. He's a short king, but he picked a cape that's too long, and you know that
I love a short king.
And
love
you know
him.
that is Prince Philip of Bellaforge. And lastly, you see Charles Charming. Charles is trying desperately to grow facial hair that he cannot grow. He's got kind of like the pokey whiskers that you're just like, buddy, no, I'm sorry, no. He's got kind of this slicked back hair and a ponytail. And standing with them, you also see a couple people who you've never seen before. You see this kind of bored-looking, kind of gothy-looking woman looking around, looking bored, dark eyeliner, dark hair, very pale with a black lip. And standing next to her is not quite as burly as Prince Adam, but this very kind of oafish, snobby-looking gentleman with dark hair and a ponytail, who looks like he eats a lot of eggs. And you don't know those two. But you see that Charles goes, "Hey, ladies and sis."
If
Hey,
you could
boys.
see, if you could see Danielle's face under the mask, it is so much disgust. You can't see it because mask.
You see that Adam, Bella, keeps trying to like make conversation with you and is like way too shy. Like the man is a good foot taller than you, and it's just like, you're a professor, right? And that's cool.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool profession, I guess.
And you hear Prince Philip go, "I flunked out of literature." You see
Doesn't
Eric goes,
surprise me.
you see Eric kind of says, "Whatever, we can just go fishing. You know, it's always a good living." Speaking of which, Ari, I saw you on the beach today. You getting some sun?
Yes. She's just very awkwardly, trying to be polite and just does not know how to avoid talking to Prince Eric.
Ari found the most adorable treasures on the beach today.
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
You
Yep.
see Eric actually looks a little bit interested, but as he opens his mouth, you see Charles go, "Whatever, that's lame."
And here is
Oh.
where Charlotte comes to sort of intercede into the situation. And, like, you know, bright faced, brushing off the hostess entirely. And she says, "Brother, I was quite aware that did our parents not brief you on the situation, on the etiquette of tonight, the schedule? You have a appearance you're supposed to be making in an alternative ballroom, are you not? Along with your current company, who I am not entirely introduced to. You must desist. We are in polite company."
God, you're so boring. You see he kind of straightens up, gains about 2 inches from his slump. And you see that the gentleman who you don't recognize, who is totally not Gaston, I don't know what you're talking about, don't worry about it. He kind of looks over and goes, "Well, you know, Mal and myself would be happy to head over to the other ballroom if we could start the dancing in there, Charles." And Charles goes, "Fine. These are my new friends. This is Gerald and Mal. They're pretty cool. I met them in town." And he kind of does this, like if he had a fan, but he does it like with his hand. He leans over and goes, "I might have a date with Mal. You jealous?" And he kind of looks at all the three of you. He's absolutely unbearable. Like,
You see like this tiniest what's it called? Like shake from Danielle's body that's clearly like a
you see that kind of all the other boys who seem genuinely to be like a little nicer than charming. And you know that your brother can be charming when he wants to be. They all start agreeing and going. You see that Adam looks at you, Bella, and says, "Well, if you're interested later, I heard that you're quite a voracious reader. I would love to hear about what book you want to read."
I don't know. I have to see what my friends are doing, but if we're not busy, I do like talking about books.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, cool. And you see Eric looks at you.
Go.
You see that Eric looks at you, Ari, and says, "Yeah, if you don't mind showing me your sparkly treasures, I would totally love to see them." And Ari, you actually look and you haven't noticed that Eric actually has quite a bit of like shiny things on himself. Like he's got little bits and baubles that he likes to wear.
Does he have a dingle hopper?
I know he does not have a dingle hopper. Also, I am definitely queer coding all of these boys. FYI. They're all some kind of not straight.
As they should be.
Except for Gerald. Gerald is toxic straight man.
Oh no.
And absolutely no one was surprised.
And you see that the boys slowly begin to make their way into the other room, giving you a space to breathe with your group again.
So, when do we get to go do our own thing? Charming, how long do we have to stay?
You watch as Charming reaches into her pocket, brings out a scroll, and like the comedic drop to the floor. And she sort of starts sorting through, and she's like, "Well, we have reached past the royal instructions, which you did admit, but again, it is not a problem at all." Really,
I've got a feeling it is a problem.
It is not a problem. If it was a problem, I would tell you. I promise.
Okay.
I've only just coincidentally brought it up about 3 times. It has nothing to do with anything. We have a small window of time in between the dance that the Prince Charming shall be leading, and I believe there is a round table of speeches which are supposed to be given by royal dignitaries, but considering his current company, I would not be surprised if that goes off-rail a bit, so I may as well just throw this into the nearest fireplace. We are not going to be keeping to this in the slightest, but...
Probably not.
Really, in all honesty, I suppose my brother is doing the epitome of his job. He is socializing and maintaining his charisma and broadening the relations with all manner of people in the kingdom. And like, Charming is being very diplomatic.
I am going to say for the first roll of the night, because I think this would be fun, anyone who wants to roll figure out a person on Charming absolutely can. I think it's fair to say that Charming is putting on a very brave face. So a figure out a person roll, you will use either, you will roll wit. If you want to spend a string on them, you can add a +3. So strings, for those of you at home, strings are like kind of representations of the amount of sway you have against another person. 100% Bella, if you want to go ahead and write that you've got 2 strings on Adam, you can add that right now.
Okay.
Ari, you've got a string on Eric. Danielle, you've got a string on Philip. And Charming, you've got 2 strings on your brother.
Good.
But I will ask around for people's rolls. Ari, what did you get on that figure it out roll?
It was an 8.
Okay, I'm next B. You may ask 2 of the questions from the figure out a person list, but Charming may ask one of you. Do you have that up?
I do not.
I can go ahead and put them in the side chat. So for the audience, the question choices that you have, you can ask, sorry, give me one moment. What are your feelings towards blank? What do you hope to get from blank? How could I get you to blank? What do you love most? And how would you feel if I blank? So Ari, you may ask 2 of those questions, but Charming can ask one of you.
I think for the first one, so like kind of back in character for a minute. So what do you think of Charles's new friends? Like just trying to like ascertain like if they're good people, because she really can't tell.
It is immoral to judge a book by its cover. But I would have to admit, perhaps they haven't been sourced through the particularly expected channels. You know what Charles is like. He interacts with all walks of people throughout the city, and in honesty, I do support that of him. Okay, I can do this, and I do support that. I do support that of him. It is the cementing and reinforcing of bonds in his preparation to assume the throne one day. This is simply his ruling style, yes?
True, he is very kind to everyone. How would you feel if I tried to become friends with them? I have been trying to socialize more.
You watch as Charming, like that was involuntary, but Charming just sort of sucks in her lips, looks at you, and very much, you can see in her eyes the message of, I am worried that they will eat you alive. And Charming says, perhaps there's something we can engage with and allow to evolve throughout the evening. Perhaps in a group setting first, though, yes?
That makes sense. I
want
really know.
to ensure each of you have a fantastic night. We don't want any uncomfortable moments.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Alright.
Charming, you may ask a question of Ariel.
What are the questions? I can't find
Questions are in the side chat. They're also in the handout, which is, what are your feelings towards blank? What do you hope to get from blank? How can I get you to blank? What do you love most? And how would you feel if I blank?
Oh, I could bleed into that then of... I think Charming just sort of, again, like, you know, the mental catalog, that moment from The Devil Wears Prada where there's the face, like the book of faces, and they have to memorize every single person that's... Charming has done that, like 3 separate books, and she sort of takes Ariel's arm, and she says, I am aware of some... In fact, there have been charitable movements for the preservation of the local shoreline and coastal regions. I am happy to make an introduction with you if that is something you would like.
You just see her, like, start beaming and just nodding. Yes, that would be lovely. I would absolutely love that.
Moving to Bella and Danielle's Figure It Outs. Bella, what did you roll on your Figure Out a Person?
A 6.
That is a failure, unfortunately. You may mark an experience, which if you get 3 experience, you can get an advance. Bella, this food is really good.
I've gone on to the chocolates now.
Oh, that'll get you.
Oh, I got it.
They're definitely shaped like little, like, shoes. Little shoes and, like, crowns and stuff. And swords. What did you get, Danielle?
Chocolates. I rolled a 9, so like
that is also a mixed beat.
But I don't know what I want to ask, even though
why
I've
don't you hold on to them?
Minutes.
You can hold on to them until later in the scene.
But
so
I know that.
But Charming,
it's a question of me.
Yes. Now, Charming, you may hold your question till later in the scene for Danielle, or you can ask it now.
I will hold my question in this scene. I feel like Ariel has been not appeased, but Ariel has been given a social in. Bella's having a great time, and Charming turns to, you know, playing the host, and she just takes note of Danielle, and she says, "Are you well, Danielle?"
I'm fine.
Shall we continue then? Again, a small window, but I'm sure that window will grow larger by the second.
As you say, that window will grow larger by the second. All the candles in the room go out. There is a moment of panic. All you can see is via the moonlight that's pouring in through the large walkway that leads to the ocean. You hear screaming. People start running around. They don't know what's happening. I am gonna actually say, in this darkness, there's this real danger of getting trampled or like a panic happening. Is there anything that any of you would like to do in this very brief moment to see if you can navigate the temporary chaos that is happening? You can check your playbook moves. What would you like to do, Bella?
Bella would like to go feral.
Hey!
Let's
Here
go.
we go. So, the Beast playbook has a mechanic called Go Feral. You will go ahead, I believe you roll a daring when you go feral. You are going to also increase your ferality to 4. What did you roll on your daring?
I rolled 10 on my daring.
Ooh, that is an upbeat, my friend. So if you look at your playbook, you can choose 2 of the options from that transform, and then I want you to describe what you look like. So you don't have a condition, so that's not really applicable, but you can say you are magnificent and little escapes your notice. You gain leverage or an opportunity with the monster. Pain is nothing to you. You ignore the next time you would stagger while you're transformed, or you can move in ways no ordinary person could. You may pick 2 of those because you got.
I'm going to do magnificent little escapes your notice so I can gain leverage on an opportunity, and I'm going to move in ways no ordinary person could, so I can help my friends get through this mess in the dark.
Absolutely. What do you look like as you transform?
So Bella's beast form has a rainbow mohawk, a septum ring. Nails are black and painted, and they become very long and sharp, like claws. And she has fangs and cat-like ears and iridescent, like cheetah spots on her face.
I love everything about this. I think that the leverage that you gain in this moment is you gain night vision. Your eyes kind of just glow in the dark with an animal way. For 2 of you, you've never seen this. Ari and Charming. This is a side of Bella you've never seen. Danielle, you've seen this. You've had some screaming parties out at the moon.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But Bella, I think that what happens is you are able to now see in the dark and move very quickly. So where are you kind of shepherding your group?
I think since we were around the food that I'd be trying to get them into the kitchens.
Wonderful. You all feel Bella's hands, which suddenly feel very pointy at the ends, just kind of shepherd you, and you all kind of go into the kitchen. Yes, please go for it.
If I may, I feel like the first thing that happens when all the candles and lights go out, you hear Charming says, "Odd, this isn't supposed to happen until another 2 hours." And then like the panic starts happening, and she lives here, so I feel like even in the dark, this is something she could navigate. Mm-hmm. Upon feeling the strange hands of Belle's beast form upon her, there is the instinctual draw. You hear the hiss of her sword beginning to be drawn before she recognizes that it's you.
No, it's Bella, it's Bella.
And upon being so crouched, she places a hand on yours, which is on her arm, and she says, "I cannot, I must attend to where my brother is. Please, by all means, secure yourself strong. I'll be right back as soon as I may."
Nope, you cannot go off by yourself. We'll all go together. If you have to go, get your brother. I can get us all over there instead.
There's some things you've been keeping under your sleeves, are there not, Bella?
I think at that moment you change course begin heading towards the other ballroom, and as you do, you see a sight that you were not expecting, glowing in multicolored rainbow crystals. If anyone's played Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda, it's the crystal that Zelda's in. This is the inspiration I'm getting. You see crystals that are have very familiar faces, frozen in stasis. You see Adam, you see Eric, you see Philip, you see the next prince who I forgot. Sorry, Charming, Eric, Philip. Yeah, Charming, Eric, Philip, and Adam. And standing on the dais, you see Mal and Gerald. And they are laughing quite stereotypically evilly and just going, that was so incredibly easy. And as Mal snaps her fingers, you see a swirling mist begins to overtake the ballroom, and Mal, Gerald, and the four princes begin to disappear as if they're being teleported. What do you all do in this moment?
I point towards Mal, like, highlight. They're standing there laughing like clowns, like, immediately.
100%.
And she starts to stride forward. There is no fear or self-preservation seen in this persona. And she starts to stride forward, draws her sword, not yet to attack, but very much to aid that persona. And she says, by authority of the royal family of Hyberia Castle, you will stop this at once.
You see that she's like halfway disappeared at this point and looks at you and goes, girl, really? And looks down at you, and you see you are starting to teleport.
Think, again, clocking together of wherever this is going. Is where her brother's going, notices herself start to teleport, and doesn't drop her sword, but lunges forward and aims to kind of grapple onto Mal, with the idea of just like, you're taking me with you. You're not going anywhere without me.
What about the other three of you? I'm assuming you all are jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm right behind Charming, and I've pulled out my sword with the hilt full of teeth as well, and
Nice.
So good.
Danielle had started to reach to pull Charming back, and then clearly Charming was too far into this for that to do any good.
Oh, yeah.
So they also bolt forward and pull out their titty dagger.
Yeah. I will say this is, I'm sorry, this is the plot. The plot has come for you.
How dare you give us the plot?
I know, I'm so sorry. Ari, what happens in your moment as you teleport? Like, this is
Ari,
something you've never experienced, I'm sure.
I feel like as soon as Ari would see everyone kind of drawing weapons, would be like tearing at the fork necklace. It's not a dingle hopper, guys, because we don't want to be sued. Like just tearing it off her neck, and it's just like fork forward, just running, following everyone, like thinking like, these are shitty book covers.
Do you by chance mean a hingle dopper? Like,
Yes,
easy
it
getting
is.
Hingledopper, yeah.
Hingledopper.
Non-suable, cannot sue us.
It's a Hingledopper, guys.
As you all charge, and feel yourselves teleport, I'm sorry, I just saw the dog and got distracted. I'm so sorry. Yes, we do care about copyright, Vinny. We're trying not to have Disney sue us. It's why I was very careful with the names of the princes. So you lunge forward, and almost like kind of like this light engulfs you. And when the light fades away, you find yourself in a very, very much not Hyberia. You are now in a very large forest. The trees are gargantuan, about the size of redwoods, but the size of the trunks are like half of houses. You hear the activity of birds and animals, but it all seems very subdued, and you very quickly realize why, because this entire place is fenced in by briars. you see that you're basically in this forest where all around you, not in your path, there's a very fairy tale-esque path just leading into the woods, but there are briars all around the edges. They're claw-like thorns reaching up to the sky. You are definitely not in Hiberia anymore, and the princes, Mal and Gerald, are nowhere to be found.
Can we hear anything? Or is there any indication of where they could have possibly gone?
No, at this point, you would have to look at your playbook moves or things like that to kind of get a sense of what you'd like to do. Because this isn't a game that has things like perception or anything, I'll usually give you kind of like the bare minimum. So you don't really hear much. You hear, the sound of birds and animals, but again, it sounds very timid. It's as if all the chipmunks and birds are all afraid that something is out there. And you don't know if they are. But you do see this very, very clear path just lying in front of you.
Immediately, full zero hesitation, immediately starts walking down the path. Like sword in hand, cape billowing out behind her.
What do y'all do?
I think Ari would, at this point, very hesitantly follow, because she was still getting used to being in Iberia, just out of the ocean, and is now in a completely unrecognizable place. And it's just very much like seeing Charming just kind of like stomp off, and it's just like very like anxiety, just like following, like almost running after.
Bella would offer her arm to you if you would like to take it.
Yes.
Gay. Anyway.
Ari's just inwardly panicking, and it's showing outwardly.
And also, Ariel, keep an eye on those traditions and commandments. Also, thank you for the hydrate, Minnie. Also, producer Mel, let me know when I'm supposed to be taking a break, because I'm new to this. But as you walk deeper into the forest, you all have a moment to kind of touch base with each other before I throw the next thing at you.
So, Bella's kind of just gently tapping on Ari's arm. It's gonna be alright, we're gonna figure this out.
Well, we're in a new place. We don't know where we're going. And we have no one to ask for directions.
I mean, that's true, but we're strong, independent women. We can do it.
Bella, are you still transformed at this point?
I am, but I wanted to ask too, because I was looking at Tracker, and it seems like I have to have a person here to ask questions, so I didn't know how that could work. Is there any way I could use that?
Absolutely. So you may figure them out and may do so even when they're not present.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Tracker is a playbook move of the beast. So again, for those of you at home, Thirsty Sword Lesbians has these playbooks that have unique moves. So Tracker, when you investigate a person's living space, camp, or trail, or an object important to them, you can roll heart instead of wit to figure them out, and may do so even if they're not present. You can also ask the question, where did they go? As if it were an option on the list for that move. On a 7 through 9, they take a string on you instead of asking a question back. And then you can say why. They would get a strain, like maybe they just smell good or fearsome or bad. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and who specifically are you trying to track right now? Are you trying to track Charming? Are you going to track one of the other boys?
I feel like since I have a connection with Adam, that I would be able to, pick up something from Adam.
Sure. Go ahead and roll that. Figure out a person, and you may roll with heart.
6.
Does anyone want to use a string to up that roll? Use a string on Bella to up that roll. Ari,
Yes,
what does
I'll
it
go ahead and
look
use
like
one.
as you see Bella's trying to the two of you take this away? This is like I think it's a really cool interaction between the two of you.
I'm trying to.
Small child.
My little feral children in the back.
You hear imps running around the sides, little leprechauns.
Okay, and so we're trying to track one of the princes.
Yes, specifically Adam. Basically what's happening mechanically is that Bella's about to fail, and you are boosting her up with a string so that it turns into a mixed beat instead.
My children in the back. I love them so much.
It's okay. We will just ignore small creatures running around. You're fine.
I think Ari at this point would try very hard to just be more comforting and just like put her hand on Bella's arm. You look quite lovely. Maybe take a breath and just focus a little. That's all you need to do.
The food with you?
Did you see
that in the bag with your trinkets?
Maybe, yes. Hold on.
I can't think right now.
In front, doing the implacable, the Terminator walk onwards. Charming stops. I imagine Danielle almost runs into the back of her, stops, turns around, reaches into her purse, and pulls out an emergency snap. Girlie is prepared.
Yes, emergency granola bar.
Yes, exactly.
Incredible. So with that boost, Bella, you are able to get a mixed beat. So you may ask any of the figure it out a person questions for Adam, or where did Adam go?
Where did Adam go?
Straight down this path. It's like a golden thread that reaches out to you, like the smell of a pie on a windowsill that a grandmother laid out. But you feel a string get taken from you. Why do you think in this moment, as you are tracking Adam, why would he get a string on you in this moment? The way that the playbook words it is my favorite, is, do they smell that good or that fearsome?
I think that it's more of that protectiveness kicking in. Adam is so helpless, and Bella's just oh, the other guys I could care less, but he's not that bad, and he doesn't know what he's getting into.
Did I make Adam a trans man himbo? You bet your ass I did.
Yes!
There's a couple of gender fluid and trans people in this bunch. I think I
love that.
Made Eric a trans man. And I believe I made Philip non-binary, because we're just going to make everyone gay and gender non-conforming. So you end up following the path. You have a track ahead of you. Is there anything else, any playbook moves or RP before I throw the next thing at you? Because I've got a thing.
When you mean anything else, do you mean just sort of character-wise? Or
yeah, character-wise. If you want to do something to help out, some of your playbook moves are helpful in terms of prepping things. Sometimes your playbook moves are much more battle-oriented.
Yeah.
I know a couple of you are tracking things. The Trickster's got a feelings tracker, and the Seeker is tracking commandments and convictions. So just if there's anything you want to do briefly in this last moment of respite before you basically are going, not to break another copyright, you're going into the woods.
I think mostly I just would like to act in terms of sort of flavor or role play. Most of my playbook movements are kind of very offensive or in reaction to another character. So more just as Bella is very visibly doing this thing, I think charming, very is still very patient, poised, but there's a determined wrinkle in her brow, and she looks upon all of you and she says, each of you are my closest friends, and for that I am aiming to beseech all of your aid. in my quest right now, in the retrieval of the Elder Prince Charming, my brother, the heir to the throne of Iberia Castle, I ask that you help me enforce and follow my ideal of family above all else. Will you assist me in doing this goal, this rescue?
Of course. We're besties, like you said.
Oh.
I mean, we're all here, and oh, sorry guys, getting over being sick. We should help each other. It's the right thing. We should
The right thing is
definitely-
to ask rather than assume. So I had to hear your verbal wishes first.
There is someone who is being very coyly quiet right now. Danielle, what's happening over
Yeah,
here?
I see you.
Well, for one, Danielle is very quiet because, as I told y'all before, she is masquerading as like a handmaiden.
Mhm.
She's not one of the princesses, so she does not speak up a lot unless she's directly addressed. And she just nods in agreement to what Charming asks, but internally she's like, but what if we didn't? What if?
What if we didn't, though? As you kind of have that thought, you all suddenly feel... Who's in the front, by the way? Who's walking in the front?
It's
That makes
Charming.
sense.
1000%.
You hear a... this giggle, and all of a sudden a large branch comes tumbling down at you. I need you to make me a Defy Disaster check. And I need you to tell me which skill you're using and what you're willing to sacrifice.
Explain that all again a little bit slower.
No, that's fine. Do you have the handout out by any chance? It
I
explains
do
it
have the
better.
handout.
So look
I
at
see it
danger
here.
moves and look at Defy Disaster. You basically can pick any of the 5 stats: daring, grace, heart, wit, or spirit. You just have to explain to me how it applies.
Yep.
And then you have to tell me what you're willing to sacrifice in order to make sure this doesn't happen to you.
To me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Is there anything in my playbook?
Danielle
should have
is
had
right
this
behind
happen to
you.
somebody else. I just
Yeah,
realized with your...
I was about to say. I was like, that's not gonna work.
Hang on a second. Welcome to collaborative storytelling. I might retcon this.
That's fine. That's okay.
Danielle was definitely between them, between Charming and then the other two behind. So
I'm gonna have this happen to Danielle, actually.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
I think that instead of the branch coming towards you, you look over, and thankfully you look over just in time to see Danielle nodding at you, not about to see this branch that's gonna come down. Did you mark Gallant Rescue on your playbook? Ah, that's all right.
Of course. No, I did. I was being coy. No, I did.
All right, great. So in this moment, what are you going to roll? Which stat?
I am going to go with daring for sure. Like, the aim is to the falling branch has been clocked upon my poor dear friend, who, as a citizen of, like, is a guest of the, like, you know, this is like all these people here are my responsibility as a guest in my place of residence. So, like, you know, branch has been clocked. I'm aiming to take my sword and, like, you know, rule of cool, whatever. I'm going to sort of, like, you know, slice the branch in half or something.
And what are you willing to sacrifice in order to make sure this happens?
My own personal safety.
Great! Go ahead and roll Defy Disaster!
So
Obviously.
So in Danielle's like mask, they've definitely like pitched their voice differently so they don't sound like Cinderella. But the yelp that comes out is definitely a little more Cinderella.
You all have a moment of, huh. What'd you get?
So I rolled okay, I have to add the modifier.
Yes,
right?
you do. Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. So I rolled an 11. That leaves me at 13.
Oh, a wild success. Oh my goodness. An absolutely wild success. So what you, for Defy Disaster, what it literally says for a Defy Disaster 10 or above, do it with style. And at my discretion, you may learn new information, discover a new opportunity, or gain a strain on someone. I'm gonna immediately give you a strain on. I think, Echo, would it be fair to say that Danielle gives a string to Charming in this moment?
Yeah.
So you get a string on Danielle, and you have your own mechanics. So I'm gonna let you take this moment. This is your wild. Bella and Ari, you watch as this happens. What does it look like as Charming stops this branch from hitting her friend?
I feel like, she sort of rushes forward in this elegant step, and like the sword is pulled free. Like, you've got that metallic sting as that happens, and it's the overarm two-handed strike down, and a diagonal strike through this falling branch. Very cool, very Marvel Disney code. Like fantastical anime filter has been slapped over the top.
Oh my god, like it goes into the side slash frames where
Exactly.
And then it shows all the rest of you in like your colored backgrounds, Bella with the yellow going, Ari with the blue, like
And I feel kind of like, an arm has been flung out protectively in front of you, Danielle. The sword is pointed to the source of this diversion. Danielle, you'll see as Charming's eyes, like they're this lovely rose quartz pink, is appraising you. Because I can, according to my playbook, if I succeed, I can ask you a question. I'm going to hold on to that until it's a little bit calmer. And you've been... Charming is sort of at face value, you've been clocked, the slight hesitation was noticed, the break perhaps may have been noticed, but it's sort of the thing of Charming's also a person who knows about timing being everything, and this is not the time for that now. So she throws the sword out, and she demands, upon the authority of the Princess of Iberia Castle, who goes there?
And you look up and you see a forest nymph who is sitting on this arch made of briars as if the thorns barely bother her. She's wearing a dress made out of leaves. You were going to take a strain on her because she was impressed. Her name is Daphne. And you see that Daphne is kind of sitting, swinging her bare feet, looking down at you and going, "You're not in Iberia." She has this beautiful, dark green hair and ringlets with flowers woven in. Her skin is bark colored, kind of like the reddish brown redwood bark. And she just looks down and goes, "Meh," and sticks her tongue out at you.
Well, then by all means, come down onto the base level and say this to my face.
Nah, it's more fun up here. Also, I like your friend. She's got cool ears. You can't pass here unless you're a member of the forest.
Are you presuming to stop me?
She looks around and you hear a ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk as more branches come down. Yeah?
Wait. Charming. As Ari kind of steps forward, I'm gonna use my playbook move, Silly Tourist. To figure out a person. So when I figure out a person by playing the fool, I may additionally ask a question from this list, even if it's on a 6.
Incredible.
So let me roll this real quick.
That figure out a person.
So it's a 10.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 10.
So you can ask them 2 questions. Ask Daphne 2 questions right now, or hold it later, though there may not be a later. And then ask a question from your silly tourist. So Ari, take it away. You see that Charming, there's that moment where you're in kind of this wild place now where your rules don't really matter, where the person that this nymph just said she admired was your bestial friend sticking her tongue out at her. Ari, what do you do in this moment?
I think narratively this is so fun for Ari because she's so used to being out of place in different places. Ari just kind of looks up. What would make you laugh?
What make me laugh? She kind of leans back and does the thing where she drops down, so she's like hanging upside down from like the bramble thorn. Again, like does not seem like the thorns bug her at all, but she's like now hanging down, looking at you with her hair dangled down. She goes, "Pretty girls."
Okay. Well, I think that we're all quite lovely here, and I think we could make you laugh, but...
Yeah, I mean, you got your stick-up-the-butt friend over there. And the one wearing the mask? What's wrong? Is there something wrong with your face?
You did not have to answer that question. That was very rude.
So it seems that you're quite powerful here. Is there a hidden threat that I might be missing here? In this lovely forest of yours?
Oh my god, you don't know about the threat in this forest. Oh, you poor, sweet, innocent summer child. She kind of reels herself up, got incredible abs. She's real hot, you guys. This is just a very, very attractive forest nymph. Hello, thirsty sword lesbians. And she kind of reels back up and like does a flip off of the briar to stand in front of you. She's way taller than you thought she was. She towers over you like a tree. She's like almost 7 feet tall.
Oh my god.
And she kind of like folds her arms and looks at you and goes, "So you're unaware that this is Maleficent's forest?"
Oh.
Like evil witch, woo, spooky, briars. You didn't know that?
Charmy just drops her sword and just sighs.
No? I think at this point, Ari is very intimidated by Daphne and is just kind of like losing words, trying to respond.
It is the epitome of this poor sheltered girl is face to face with mommy sorry, mommy sorry, mommy sorry.
Mommy, sorry, what?
But yeah, you see that she doesn't seem to want to budge. So you might have to do something to get her to budge. There's a possible role for this. I don't know what.
Let's go look real quick. Hold on.
I will say that she is taking a particular interest in you, Bella. She's definitely like you're. First of all, I would imagine you're probably the taller than the others in your bestial form, and she's looking at all. She's very interested in all of you, even Charming, who she views as like a bit of like stick in the mud. She wasn't lying when she said pretty girls make her laugh. She looks very happy. I will give y'all a hint. Entice may be your friend here.
I was just thinking about that one.
So for those of you at home, entice you roll heart to appeal to someone's physical or emotional sensibilities.
Yeah, Bella's gonna shoot her shot.
Hell yeah!
Hey!
I think Ari at this point, just like losing words, just looks over at Bella and just kind of like motions her head like, talk to Daphne.
All right.
Go get her, girl.
I rolled a 9.
Next beat, not bad. So, what do you do as you appeal to Daphne?
If you like my ears, I might have a few other things to show you that you might like as well.
Fuck. I was always a sucker for a girl with claws. All right, I'll tell you what. She is not going to let you take a strain on her, but she is going to promise something that she thinks you want. How about I give you another path? This path, you're only going to run into more people like me. They're going to stop you. They're going to mess with you. If you promise to go on a date with me when you get back, I will show you a different path.
You got a deal.
you see she smiles, kind of winks at you, Ari, too, and is like, and I mean, if you ever wanna, and
Just out of Ari. Just nervous laughter.
she even looks at you, Danielle, and goes, "You seem cool." Looks at you, Charming. Couple drinks, maybe, and like walks over to a side of the briars and puts her hand on them. Again, like you have no idea. This girl must be made of bark. Nothing seems to hurt her. And as she twists the vines, you see a doorway opens. It looks like one of those beautiful wooden archway trellises. And there is a moment where she kind of sniffs and says, "Oh, they charmed this one. Okay." She looks at you, and for the first time, you see that the look of joking has kind of left this nymph's face. Just be prepared when you go in there, because, like, I think one of the witches enchanted it, so you might end up, like, having a brief trip.
Okay.
It's not been the first time today.
It's been a day.
Yeah. But you know where to find me. And she kind of smiles at you, Bella, and she is going to jump back up into her briary patch. And as you look towards this new doorway that has been opened, I'll take one more thing from Charming.
I was going to say, as Charming goes to step through the trellis before Daphne jumps up, again, like the epitome of, like, you know, trying to flex that diplomacy so much, and she looks with the flattest face imaginable, and she says, "I appreciate your efforts vastly."
Can I give you a piece of advice?
No. And she steps through.
Incredible. Do the rest of you, you see that before you all step in, she looks at you, Danielle, and goes, "Yeah, the piece of advice was to tell her to loosen up." And then she jumps up and and as you all
Danielle
walk
has just
through,
the tiniest giggle.
as we all walk through the trellis, I think this is a good time to take a break. So Mel, if you're here, I think it is time to break. We will be back. I believe it is going to be 10 minutes. So please go ahead and get a water, get a bio break, and we'll see you soon. everybody.
Hi.
We're going to pick things up right where we left off. But first, before you all disappear into this mysterious magical trellis, Charming, you have a moment before you step through to look back at Danielle.
I think in the side, like in the break, Charming sort of appraises you, Danielle, and using my trusty question up my sleeve, it's very. I feel like the way that this question is addressed, it's very open, it's very honest, it's very it's gently blunt. And she says, "Do you not wish to be here and assist with rescuing my brother? Do you have an opinion you would like to share? I think it's important that we get this out in the open before we go into a dangerous situation. It's something that I need to know."
Just coming for her throat. Damn.
Yes. I am.
Oh, so what do you think of my brother?
It's very much the idea of like, we're getting this out so that we can go in as a group, and that this isn't something that can be picked out later. So it's just sort of like, tell me now so that we can deal with it now.
Question, is this a figure you out question that you're doing?
No, this is part of my gallant rescue. I when I defy disaster that's about to befall someone else, so Danielle in this case, I am able to ask a following question. One of them is, how do you feel about my devotion? So like,
it's a
basic
special
word.
figure it out.
It's, yeah.
Okay, well, I have a thing that has to do with lying and figure it out questions. That's why
Whoa! Okay.
I allow this.
whenever a PC figures you out, you can give false answers, and you must raise your feelings tracker at the end of the scene.
Which we're about to be at the end of. So, all right, what happens, Danielle? You get this question. What do you say?
The question was basically how she feels about the brother, right?
Or do you have any opposition? Like, do you oppose rescuing him? Like that's so, yeah, effectively.
How do you feel about Charles, essentially?
Mm-hmm. Are you with me in rescuing my brother?
As you know, I'm not the biggest fan of your brother. He's a little. They don't have a word. It's literally just. But yes, we are on this mission. I am here to help you rescue him. And not that anyone fucking knows that, but it's a big ass lie.
Why you were gonna increase your feelings by 1. Charming? You don't know that?
Okay, no, that is alright, because I am clinging onto, because the other one that I took, the other playbook move I took, was Toxic Devotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I am latching. Charming does not notice the lie because she latches onto there are problems that I have with your brother. And you see like a flicker of uncertainty or insecurity flash across Charming's face. And she straightens up, sort of rearranges her shoulders, and she says, "We have both been raised in the following of royal tradition. And although there are notions and chances that perhaps Charles is acting out of social turn, it is through an understanding of a charismatic and social political game.
So
the moves he makes are for the cause, for the preparation of his taking the throne. You must understand your citizens, even in ways that may not always be palatable to certain tongues."
Now, my dear friend, according to this toxic devotion, you either, because you are making excuses for Charles right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
You may take +1 forward, which means your next action will have an additional +1 on it, or you can mark an experience.
I'm gonna mark experience, please.
All right. As you all
and I get a string on Danielle, don't I? Or on Charming, don't I? Because
I think
they learned that another PC thinks their devotion is problematic.
But you don't defend it, which is
I missed the
Charming did defend her brother, which is what. Now, if you say something about him being problematic, and she doesn't defend him, she will mark a condition and give whoever was calling him out.
I missed the don't defend it.
No worries.
I got excited to take another string.
You're like, let's go. However, as you step into the trellis, we're actually going to start with Ari.
Yes.
Ari, as you step into the trellis, the air around you begins to feel thicker, like water. Almost as if you feel like you have submerged yourself beneath the salty waves of your home. What is a memory that Ari has of her home that she would rather forget?
Ooh, I was hoping something like this would come up. I think that Ari, in this moment, would kind of think back to when she left home. Because the authority figure that I picked for her was her father.
Triton? Yeah.
So, she would be thinking about how she left home and now she's left Hiberia and is in this new place again, having to just kind of like learn things all over again and navigate this.
You find yourself in your father's throne room, and you see this tall, dark-skinned, white-haired, white-bearded man with this long, sapphire blue mermaid tail. But his expression feels like it's wobbling with the waves, as if it's almost reminding you that this is not real. But you see he looks at you and says, "You have been walking without a chaperone amongst the land dwellers?"
But, just trying to kind of pull yourself together. But they're my friends. They're good people. They're all princesses.
I didn't say that you were friends, did I?
Oh, I suppose not.
You know that I know best, and he reaches for your chin as if to crane your head up. What were you about to say?
No, at this point, Ari would just feel very kind of folding in on herself, realizing oh, this is bad.
As he reaches for you, this was something that I did that I know is not technically in the rules of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I don't care. Roll an emotional support for yourself.
You can do it, babe. Good luck, babe.
Good luck, babe.
It's a 9.
Okay, 9 is not bad.
Surely that's an advantage, the good luck babe.
Hold on, I am not a math gay. Hold on. It's an 11. Don't ask how I got the number I got.
Incredible. No, that's great. I'm here for this. So that is a wild success. So according to the handbook, though, this is a little bit different because it's my weird homebrewy thing. You may pick 2 of these options in the emotional support category. You don't have a condition, so that's not going to be relevant to you, but you can mark XP, gain a +1 forward, or gain insight from me about an obstacle facing one of you. You can pick 2 of those.
I think I'll take the +1 and the insight.
Okay, so as you look at your father in this moment, it's almost as if there's a mask that is rippling in front of his face. And you know that if you turn away from him now, you will be breaking at least one of your commandments in this moment. And it strikes you that every single one of your friends has their own mask to wear. And unless you shatter those, you will not be able to fulfill your mission. That is the insight you gain from me.
Okay.
What do you do in this moment? This is an 11 emotional support for yourself. Take it away.
So in this moment, am I choosing to either stay and face him or turn?
It's up to you.
I think...
You wildly succeeded. So basically, you have a moment where you can, for the first time, make like a choice for yourself.
I think Ari, in this moment, again, is going to make the same decision she made when she left, and go ahead and turn away from her father.
You hear his voice calling after you, but it sounds like bubbles. It sounds like someone is trying to speak to you underwater, but you can't understand what he's saying. You can tell he's yelling and he's angry and he wants you to turn back, but you don't. And I'm going to successfully say that you have broken a commandment here. I believe you agree that you have broken always obey the authority.
Oh, absolutely.
So what you can do while we do the other individual scenes is figure out what your new conviction is, which is in opposition to that former commandment. Also, thank you, Vinny, for the hydrate. We gotta hydrate or we'll die straight. We can't do that during Thirsty Sword.
Oh, can't do that.
I've run out of water, but I have watermelon, so like...
Bella, you step through the trellis, and you find yourself in the dusty library of Hiberia University. The smell of books very familiar to you, the aged pages, almost a comforting, like putting your favorite candle out and letting it fill the room. Unfortunately, you see, looking at you through side eyes, are the dean and the assistant dean, two gentlemen named Lumiere and Cogsworth, who are kind of side-eyeing you and whispering, kind of giving the look of like, oh god, this weirdo. What do you do in this moment, in this vision?
I think despite what Bella would like to do, she'd like to come over and confront them, to prove herself to them, to stand up for herself, but she's too concerned about being accepted as a professor and making her way, and they have too much power in this position right now. So she walks amongst the bookshelves and runs her hands across the books and pretends like she didn't notice what they were doing.
You swear there are like phantom claws on your hand as you do this. As you run your fingers, and it feels as if the part of you that you've been trying so desperately to hide continues to want to remind you that it's there. And as you walk out of one of the aisles, you see Cogsworth, this very kind of rotund, brown-haired man, just looks at you and goes, "So you're expecting the grant, are you, Miss Bella?"
Yes. I have submitted all the paperwork, and I have substantial support.
You see that he turns to Lumiere, who's a very tall, blonde, pale man, and just says, "No, did you hear? She has such financial support." And you see Lumiere goes, "Yes, this surely will be the mark of a great professor." And the two of them start laughing. But their laughter sounds like pages being ripped out of a book, as if just the tearing. I need you to make me an emotional support roll for yourself.
Is that plus heart?
Heart or spirit?
Okay. 11.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Amazing! So you're gonna do the same thing as Zella, where you pick up, two of the options. You don't currently have a condition. So you can mark XP, gain +1 forward, or gain insight from me. You may pick 2 of those. And then I want you to describe to me how you stand up for yourself in this moment. What will you be picking?
I'm going to take XP.
Awesome.
And then when you say take +1 forward. It's just I can add a +1 to
Your next roll.
the next roll. I'm going to do that.
Or I guess it's for the rest of the scene. So I'm going to say for the rest of the game, both you and Zella can add a +1 to all of your rolls.
Oh. Awesome. Okay. I think in that moment, she looks down at her hands again and thinks about her feral form and how she's been ashamed of that. And something kind of clicks. And she realizes, why am I ashamed of that? That, when I am in that form, I am not this weak, criticized, always on the bottom. I'm powerful and I'm strong and I can fight back. And she uses that kind of internal pep talk to build up the courage to just look at the both of them and tell them, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
They look at
And
each other
I'm
like,
going to prove it to you.
They look at each other like, not expecting you to talk back. And Lumia goes, pardon-moi?
You heard what I said.
Cogsworth immediately questions his life choices as he looks at you all confident. Lumiere just goes, whatever! And you, as you hear this man, or these two men just give in, you find yourself jolted out and next to Ari. Danielle. You are in the grand hall of your castle. You are not wearing a mask. You are not wearing a handmaid's outfit. You are in probably a fairly simple day gown, still good enough to receive company. And you find yourself surrounded by staff who claim to know you. You have people fixing your hair, doing your nails, making sure your dress is perfect, and they're all just like, yes, your highness, my dear Cinderella, this is going to look absolutely perfect. Jerome, go ahead and pick that jewel. No, I think the pearls. And you see they are all like rushing around you and trying to like gussy you up. How are you feeling in this haze? It's almost like the walls almost look like the inside of the abalone shells that Ari collects. Hazy and rainbow and shimmering. And not real, but real enough that you still feel what is happening to you.
It's kind of a dream come true for them. They want to be the princess. And I think that they lean into it a little more than they probably should.
What does that look like, you leaning into it?
Like, with with all the servants running around, doing stuff. And they're like, oh, yes, do that. And, they looking in the mirror like, oh, it's perfect, it looks great. And they're not really fighting back against the situation that's happening to them.
As you find yourself, in a way as if, butterflies are dressing you, these hands, and they start to feel a bit more insistent, and choices start to be made for you. Like, no, we don't want these earrings. We want these earrings. No, we don't want that crown. We want this crown. And every time you open your mouth to say, no, I want this, someone changes it. Someone decides to impose it on you. And then you hear a familiar voice. It's the voice of your mother. well, your mother is what she would have you call her. She's sort of like the regent who takes care of you now that you're away from your stepmother and everything. And you see Camille kind of steps forward and goes, enough, go. And on a whim, all the staff just leave. And Camille looks at you and says, perfect. Perfect princess to marry a prince. Philip will be downstairs, and then you will never have to make another decision in your life. And she turns and walks away, and you find yourself in the room, completely alone, with every choice stripped away from you.
Yeah, the perfect to marry a prince is kind of that moment that, like, she shakes her head like, wait, not a prince.
You are alone in the room. Roll me an emotional support check for yourself.
Oh, dear God. And what's emotional support? It's heart or spirit?
Heart or spirit, yes.
Yeah, both of mine suck.
Oh, no.
You can do it!
I have a 0 on one and a 1 on the other. Ah! That's an 8.
Okay, mixed beat, not the worst in the world.
I'm also not a math gazella. I really struggled with that.
Danielle, you don't quite have the success that the other two had, I think because there was that moment of, like, giving in. So you can pick one from that list and then tell me how it is that you managed to pull yourself out of this. Not letting me give any of you conditions! Damn it!
I mean, you know that I'm a hoe for conditions.
Yeah, you really are.
Give me a condition, Jocelyn.
I can't. You rolled a mixed beat.
It's alright, I'll fail my roll on purpose just for you.
No, don't you dare.
I want a condition.
It's now a race to see who gets the first condition in game. And I'm gonna win.
I need all of them.
All right. Anyway, so what are you gonna pick, and then describe to me how you kind of pull yourself out of this moment?
I mean, I guess the +1 forward?
Sure, you have a +1 forward for the rest of the game. What does Danielle do in this moment, alone in this kind of misty dressing room, in a dress you didn't choose, a crown you didn't choose, a necklace you didn't choose, anything you didn't choose, including the person you're supposed to go downstairs and marry?
I think that tears start to fall as they start to yanking at the things that are on them. Like, no, this isn't right. I want to be, but not like this. And they start yanking at the things that were put on them, and they're crying.
And what I love about this, by the way, is it reminds me of a certain scene from a certain company, but you're doing it to yourself. It's not the stepsisters ripping your clothes off. It's you going, no. And you find yourself back into reality. But before that, Charming.
Yes.
You find yourself, oddly enough, as you step into the trellis, you find yourself at a tavern. It is loud. It smells of spilled booze and a little bit of vomit. People are running around, laughing and dancing, people toasting at the bar. But everyone around you seems to look like a blur, like a silhouette. None of them seem to have faces. The only person that seems to have a face sitting at the bar is your brother.
I think sort of taking a little bit of flavor and choice of the scene, Charming just sort of like, has trying not to wrinkle her nose and just sort of strides forward. And again, the picture of poise, of elegance, but there is like a storm cloud brewing beneath her face and the tension in her shoulders. And she places an arm, a little bit probably firmer than usual, than necessary, places an arm on her brother's forearm and says, "So you have decided to be here instead of attending the legal ceremony for our duties. Yes, that is a very interesting decision to make, brother dear."
You see, he whips around, and he is very clearly several drinks deep. He has lost his jacket. His shirt is partially unbuttoned, and he looks at you.
She's trying to button up the shirt.
Smacks your hand away.
What are you doing?
Oh my god, you can't even loosen up when you're in a magical vision. Oh my god! Sis, are you... Look at... Where were you just now, right? Like in a forest?
Doing what I always have to do. Running after you.
Okay, did it ever cross your fucking mind that I never asked for that?
Do you think I did?
So who did? I don't want it. You don't want it. So why are you doing it?
Because it's what it is expected. One of us has to live up to the expectations of our family, and you have zero interest in doing so.
He takes his empty mug and throws it so it hits the wall. Fuck expectations! When's the last time you've done something you fucking wanted to do? Or is this genuinely what you want?
This is what I've been raised to do.
That's not what I asked.
Fuck, you got me there.
Yeah, you see this vision of your brother. Like, there's part of you that knows that he's not real, right?
Mm-hmm.
But something in you strikes this as, like... It feels like you are getting an insight into his thoughts for the first time. And he looks at you, he says, "You're in a fucking tavern. Look around you." And he gestures, and you see for a moment glimpses of bright and smiling and beautiful and happy faces. And you can't even think of yourself and be happy here.
Charles, who is the heir and who is the spare? Happiness is not on my cards. Do not do that to me.
You know what, I say this with all the love in my heart, sis. But this sounds like a you problem.
And I say this with all the love in my heart. You are a fucking embarrassment.
Ah! Oh my god! You see, he looks at you and his face lights up. Oh my god, say it again, say it again, say it again.
She pauses.
Say it again! He shakes you. Say it again, say it again, say it again!
Get off.
Say it again!
I'm not doing it just because you told me to. You understand the contradiction between telling me to live my own life, but then you're telling me to live my own life.
Fair.
I'm still doing something that you told me to do.
Fair. I'm just really proud of you. Roll me an emotional support check.
I'm really proud of you. I'm going to do that. I'm really proud of you. That is the audacity. Like, she has the audacity to be offended by that. And she just says, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. He's just so happy you finally called him an embarrassment.
That is a 4.
Oofta! Oh, yeah. Mark an XP, my friend. That is unfortunately a fail. You have beaten Echo to the conditions. You feel a pain in your gut as you realize this isn't him. He would never actually say this to you. Your brother would never be proud of you calling him an embarrassment. You are stuck in the same cycle, and you just told him off. You just yelled at him and did everything. You're supposed to protect him. You're going to take
In front of everyone as well.
In front of everybody. You're going to take the guilty condition. As a reminder to my players, if you want to clear another person's condition, you may do emotional support. And I think in this moment, you see the visage of your brother kind of look at you and go, oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
I know you're not him.
No, I am. I am. I don't think you're going to believe me, but I am a part of him. It doesn't matter, though, does it? And you feel the tavern whirl away, and all four of you find yourself in this wide open ruins of an atrium. You see that there are walls, not of briars, but of stones cobbled together, these tan stones. Interlaced are these vines of purple, pink, orange, and white flowers that are interlaced in the cracks, as if there's the seams of this building. But the building has no roof. The sun pours in. It is oddly bright and cheery for what it is. And you see laid out on what looks like, they look like they're all in glass coffins. Yes, there's a reference there. No one picks Snow White. All in glass coffins, looking like they are sleeping peacefully, are the four princes. And there does not seem to be anyone else around. And you all realize, well, do you all realize you're all here, is the question.
I think,
Go for it.
Go on. No, I was going to say, I think sort of coming off the heels of that, there is that wave of guilt and insecurity and like, oh my god, the end, like that scene of Euphoria of Cassie like trying to fix her makeup in the mirror and smooth down her hair and like string together that little scrap of dignity that she's got. And upon noticing the figures in the glass coffins first, probably before her friends, she's driven to try and make amends to that. And then, like, I took a +1 to wit for a reason of, like, you know, I'm a daring bimbo.
We love a himbo, a herbo, bimbo, whatever works.
And immediately, like, you know, stepping forward, looking for the coffin that has a brother in it.
Great. What is everyone else doing as Charming immediately springs into action? I might have given a certain someone a setup. Because someone, you know, has other motives. And someone is lying unconscious in a glass coffin. But everyone, what are you all doing? 2 of you came off feeling great after this vision. One of you came off feeling okay, and the other one of you is like wrecked.
Yeah, I feel like Ari at
I would
this
argue
point...
Danielle is also wrecked.
Oh no. I feel like Ari at this point should feel okay. The conviction, also side note, the conviction that I took, I will care for myself as I would my dearest friend.
Oh, I love that.
So she's self-care. Treat her like
Yes.
friends. She would just kind of be looking around and, I guess, like, at this point trying to find Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. Bella, what are you doing in this moment?
I think that she's just going to take a short beat to just, you know, take a look at herself and her beast form and hold on to that, and then she's going to step forward and look for Adam.
Okay. And Danielle, what are you doing in this moment?
I think that Danielle is, you know, taking stock, and they do step towards where Charming's at, but they're doing it in a way that it looks like they're following Charming. Rather than going after the brother at this immediate moment.
Absolutely. I'm going to start them with Ari and Bella.
Yep.
I'm going to say that Eric and Adam's coffins are fairly close together. And the two of you see that they are oddly, as you look at them, they're oddly fused. This is definitely some kind of magic that is happening. And it is rather weird that Maleficent is nowhere to be found at this point. Apparently we have Baja Blast in the chat.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Space.
You know,
Leo.
What is happening?
Okay.
Slayer cast. I cast Greater Baja
Oh,
Blast.
raided! Oh, it's a raid! Okay, sorry, I didn't see that.
Oh, you're good. Oh no, it's like a. I think it's called like a shadow raid, where like people come in to pop in and say hi.
Oh, it's
Hi,
like a raid.
guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for the baby raid. We're now gonna go and be super gay. So
We've been doing that the whole time, though.
the whole time. We love a gay thing you do with the homies. Ari and Bella, what? I'm gonna give you guys a moment here.
I think Ari would want to connect back up with everyone. After like really just to check and be like kind of approaching, I guess, Bella. Walking through the bramble, did you have any sort of kind of weird vision thing?
Yeah, I mean, Daphne said it was charmed, but it felt like the opposite of charming to me.
I mean, I saw my father. It didn't go so great. But it felt okay.
Are you okay, hon?
Yeah, I just kind of turned my back on him again, which was weird. But what was yours about?
Just those stuck-up pricks from the university.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. Why were they being so terrible?
Just thinking women can't be professors, or, I couldn't possibly have an idea for a grant because, women.
You would make a fantastic professor. You're one of the smartest people I know.
Thank you.
Oh. And then... Oh, is everyone else here as well?
And at that point, we're going to cut over to Danielle and Charming. Having this lovely little moment. I'm sure nothing will go wrong on the other side of things.
Absolutely. No.
Charming, you approach your brother in his glass coffin. Again, it doesn't seem like they're in any harm. It's very enchanted, which is kind of weird. And you see Danielle is kind of close behind you.
I think she, again, takes it at face value, and she sort of looks over her shoulder, gives her a cursory glance, and says, "Look for any fixing upon the coffin there. There may be a mechanism to release it." And immediately starts to search upon the coffin, not taking notice of what the reaction could possibly be. Her focus is entirely on, here's my idiot brother, trying to get him out to appease for the bad dream. I did a bad thing in a dream, and now I feel guilty about it.
Listen, relatable content. I did a bad thing in a dream, and now I feel bad about it.
Now I feel bad about it.
Hashtag me.
So,
what is happening in this moment?
Danielle is helping as Charming requested but I have other purposes for their help.
As you run your hands along the runes, and I think Bella and Ari, you also take a look at a similar thing. It seems like they are patterns of various types of plants. You can't really make head or tails of it. I do want to be totally frank with my players. This is kind of your last moment to have calm character interaction before shit hits the fan. So I want to or like any kind of character interaction. So I'm sort of giving you guys, because there's not really a solution that you're finding. I'm giving you guys a chance to, like, if you want to explore any downtime playbook moves, if you want to do any RP, if there's anything like that, this is kind of the final moment before I thrust you into combat mode. I don't want to pressure you. I'm just letting you know with the timing.
Shit. Could I possibly expect, like, could I use string? Could I use a string in a bid for assistance or anything? Or
you can offer an XP to a fellow person if you spend a string on them.
I'm happy to do that, and I'll expend a string for each of our players, so you can all pick up an experience point in this thing of, like, again, beseeching each of you for assistance in this noble goal.
Okay, but I have a very important question.
Oh no.
Does anyone refuse the offer?
No.
I love how suspicious that was. I'm just like, why?
I've been playing too many TTRPGs.
Basically, Charming is saying, help me get my brother out of here, and spending a strain on each of you. If you choose to help get her brother out of there, then you take an XP. If you don't, the strain does not get spent, and you do not get an XP.
Bella's gonna help.
Okay. Also, Bella, I think you're at 3 XP.
I am.
So go ahead and take that upgrade.
Time to pull out the big dyke energy.
Yes! My favorite playbook move!
Nice!
I feel like it's coming. I'm gonna need it. Get ready for this.
Before we get thrust into the combat, can I use my playbook move for people or people and talk about home?
Yeah, absolutely.
For a second, since Ari just had this vision of home.
Absolutely. Are you speaking with you're all examining Charming's coffin. Are you speaking to anyone in particular, or
It's just kind of towards everyone.
I feel like Ari does the thing of, like, nervously talking while she's doing something stressful.
100%. So
Absolutely.
What do you say? Well, I guess roll heart first. And we'll determine what you say.
Heart. Okay, so it's +0, but like. Let's see.
So people are people when you talk about your home. Roll heart. What'd you get?
I got a 3.
Got a 3. Ooh. Okay. So that is 100% a fail. Take an XP. I am going to say despite the confidence that you feel, what makes you stop talking? Like, you open your mouth about to relate something about your home, and something in you just stops you.
I think it would probably be kind of rolling back to my father. Although I could disobey him, like, it's still in the back of my mind, it would be there that, well, maybe I still have to adhere to, like, some kind of, like, authority, and maybe now is not the time to talk.
You're going to take the hopeless, insecure condition.
Oh, no.
You're feeling like, I was really confident, now I'm like, okay, but there's other commandments, and I'm not even supposed to be with these guys if I'm not being chaperoned. Is it fairly obvious to your friends around you that you're trying to say something and are struggling with it? Or are you hiding it?
It's probably fairly obvious that I was gonna say something and then just stopped.
Could I take a moment and I don't know. Oh god, what can I do? Because I can do emotional support.
Yes, you can. You can
I would like to
absolutely-
roll emotional support.
Absolutely.
So do you want me to roll? You want me to roll first and then talk?
Yes, roll first and see how it goes. So this is heart or spirit. You can get a +3 more if you spend a string on them.
I am going to spend the string because I'm already facing a -2.
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
With my
that
guilty
condition.
with
Yeah.
my guilty
Oh,
condition.
no.
All I'm imagining is, hey buddy, that's rough.
Okay, so with the -2 but the +3, that leaves me at 9. I
Okay.
think I just
So
scooch it.
if they open up to you, they can choose one of the options. So what do you say to I almost said Zella. What do you say to Ari in this moment?
Charming sort of looks up, pauses, like looks away from her brother, her idiot, like family above all, the representation of family above all else, for one damn second, and looks you in the face, holds your eyes, and says, "You were talking. What were you about to say?" Like, you know, opens the floor up for you. Just like, keep going.
Oh, I remembered home for a moment, in that vision that we had, and it reminded me of how you were there too when I left home the first time. It just feels weird to have that sensation again, but having to save someone else.
I don't regret doing what I did when I stepped in your defense. It was rude and it was mean of what they were saying. Look at it
That's
this way,
true.
Ari. Now you're in the position to do what I did for you. You can do that too. It's not something special I've got to just speak up and say no.
That's true. I think it feels strange being on the other side of it.
It's something you get used to.
I think I'll have to get used to it.
I hope you do. And kind of like, there was that moment of like pausing, of like, you know, am I self-reflecting right now? But that's been put, we don't have time for that. And then she's going, yeah, I hope you, like, you can do it. You got this, baby.
We're just here for all the positivity. But yeah, I think Ari would definitely feel better after that. And then we would start to try and figure out how to get these open.
You're muted, Joss.
I said great. Yes, Danielle.
I think while this is going on, Danielle has their dagger out, but like they're using it to like try and pry at things and see if they can get the thing open, and they're trying to do that this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I will take that string for experience.
Awesome.
Though, you know, they have their own underhanded reasons for wanting it.
At that moment, as you're trying to figure out how to open this, you hear a familiar voice. Is this really what you all want? And you look up, and sort of hovering above you all is Mal, or Maleficent. Again, this very goth queen energy, Morticia lawn black hair, wearing all black lip, pale skin, and she says, "So you're gonna rescue all of them, and then you will have to play second fiddle and marry them because it's the right thing to do, and is that really what you all want?"
Just because we want them to be free doesn't mean we want to marry them.
Okay, but you know that's what's gonna happen, right? Like, you can let me harvest their power for my magic, and you don't have to worry about them anymore. I mean, they'll be dead, but, like, whatever. but like you don't have to like she gestures to you, Ariel. Like, come on, you don't want to get married to one of them, do you?
She kind of like pauses, like kind of like stuck in her throat. Is not sure how to respond to that.
And like, listen, you're like a professor, right? Like, you know that. Like, I know not all men. I get it. I get not all men, but like some of them are real assholes. And I'm just saying, we don't really need these guys. Are you really gonna go up against me, and I'm probably gonna kill you for these? Is that
I'm
really
not
what you
gonna
want?
just walk away from you and let you kill someone.
Oh, come on! Why? Oh, God, you're so... I thought you were just the boring one. She points to you, Charming. You, I got. You have no intrinsic value.
You don't
because
know me at all.
You decided that your value is in some guy, so you're kind of a hopeless case. Yes, Danielle.
Can I call on a toxic power with Mal and make a bargain to give us the other three and they get Charming?
I will have you roll spirit. I'm going to tell you right now that this question will have to be out loud. Oh, we are having a moment.
So, I mean, they're not gonna hide it. They are just going to ask, can we have the other three and you take this one? And they gesture with their dagger at Charming.
What'd you roll?
I forgot what my modifier was. Dang it. My modifier is 1. That's an 8.
That is a mixed beat.
Charming whips her head towards you, Danielle, and said, like, you know, you've surprised her. And she says, what are you doing?
She looks at you and she says, okay, princess. Sure. You got a deal. I'll give you the other 3. You can take care of him for me. How's that sound?
What is she talking about?
You are going to mark a condition.
Uh-oh.
You take the angry condition, please.
Delicious. I love a condition.
You all see this, by the way. You all see this and you all hear this. She is about to...
I also have filled my feelings tracker.
Oh, no.
Hold on, where is it? If your feelings track reaches 4, you can't hold it in anymore. Tear off the mask and scream what you've been holding in. Do what you've been afraid to do. Damn the consequences.
Oh, God.
And basically, they can give anyone present a strain, any of you a strain to gain, like, exchange a strain for a strain. So basically, Echo, it could be like, I'll give you a strain if you give me a strain during this entire thing.
Yes.
Until the consequences catch up with them.
Until the consequences catch up.
So, all right. What happens in this moment, Danielle?
So when she offers for Danielle to be the one to do it, Danielle takes that offer immediately and looks to Maleficent, you know, to, like, remove the glass covering somehow. Because they still haven't figured out how to do that.
You see she snaps her fingers and the glass lid lifts.
And Danielle raises her dagger at the same time that she whips off her mask.
You all see that this is Princess Cinderella, who you've all met at functions.
What is going on?
Wait, so Danielle was Cinderella. What?
Is this play about us?
I thought
Just play about us.
I knew you. I thought we were friends.
Charming draws her sword and says, You still have a chance to put down your arms.
They are still holding the dagger over Charming's chest. I do this for you, Charlotte. You put yourself second to him in every way, shape, and form. You call yourself the spare. You may be second in line. He may be the first, but you are not a spare to anyone. And they will start to go down with the dagger.
Charming, what do you do in this moment?
Swipe.
All right, we are officially in combat. You see Maleficent goes, yeah, I felt like this wasn't going to go well. And she whips her head to look at Bella and Ari. We are officially in fight mode. Unlike D&D, there is no initiative.
Hate it so much.
Basically, what I will do is we'll probably take a loose initiative. Because, it's just easier that way. But I actually would like to start with, I think, the Maleficent, Bella, and Ari scuffle currently. Ari and Bella, you see Maleficent kind of lands on the ground and she pulls out what looks like a long, just black sword made of black energy, but the blade is covered in briar thorns.
Delicious.
And she's gonna look at you and goes, I had a feeling that this wasn't gonna work out, but it was really fun. What would Ari or Bella, you may decide between you, what would you like to do?
If you are okay, I would like to go first.
Yeah.
All right, what you gonna do, Ari?
I would like to break one of my convictions or my commandments.
Do it!
So always answer an insult with a drawn sword. I'm not gonna fight her.
Ooh.
And I want to use my playbook move, Hear Me. Where when I shout one of my convictions aloud in confrontation with those who hold a contrary belief, I have to roll daring. So it's a 10 flat.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I think in this moment, Ari is gonna look at Mal and is just very confused. Why is it that you're wanting this conflict?
Listen, I am tired. I have given so much of myself to other people and especially to unworthy people. And I'm going to take all the power I can so that I can become as close to a god as possible and do what I want. People love these princes. I take their devotion. It's mine. What? Is this weird? What about this is weird? I don't know what's weird.
Well, I kind of reflavoring this question and asking, I know that we're not friends, but do you think that you can't just be loved for you?
No. No, I'm pretty set on what I'm doing.
Ari's gonna double down. We couldn't try to be friends at all.
I'm gonna hit you with my sword now. You're just gonna have to trust.
Rip.
You did your best, but she's just you're adorable. In any other life, I would ask you out. I have shit to do. You are going to gain a strain on her because she admitted that she would ask you out. So go ahead and take that.
Hey.
Bella, you see Ari try valiantly to appeal to Maleficent's side. Also, by the way, make sure you're marking an XP for breaking that commandment. And what is your new conviction? Always answer an insult with a sword. What is your new conviction in opposition to that?
Oh my god, I was just looking at it. Come back to me on that and I will let you know.
No problem. Let's go to Bella. Bella, what are we doing?
Bella's gonna come in, seeing that this is failing. She's going to step slightly in front of Ari in defense and use the big dyke energy playbook move to make
Tell
it clear
us what
that
this is.
when you make it clear to your foes that you are the biggest threat, then for the rest of the scene, whenever I roll a 10 plus, you can choose someone present to be impressed or intrigued with you. Once during the scene, when you gain a string on someone, you gain an additional string on someone else who considers you an enemy.
Incredible. What does it look like as you exert this big dyke energy?
I think that there's like, the mohawk just kind of poofs up and glimmers, and the nails just in and out a little bit, and there's like this guttural growl that comes out of her as she steps in front of Ari. Don't fuck with my friends.
Can the GM mark smitten on someone? I'm just asking for a friend. Can I mark smitten? Can I?
You can, in fact, can confirm. I got the person who wrote it up on my DMs right now, and he just confirmed.
Oh, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Great. Would you like to roll a fight move?
Yeah.
Would you like to do that, or would you like to just stand your ground and see what she does?
No, I'm going in.
All right. When you seek to incapacitate someone with violence, you can roll daring or grace. Which one will you be rolling?
Daring.
All right. Go ahead and make that roll. Remember, you've got +1 forward.
That's an 8.
Okay, mixed beat, not the worst. You're going to choose 2 of those options while Mal chooses 1. Your options are 1, you can flirt with or provoke your opponent and gain a string on them. 2, you can inflict a condition through violence or cutting words as a hint. Instead of hit points in this game, you want to inflict a certain amount of conditions to win the fight. 3, you can create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction. Or 4, you can take an object from your opponent / seize a superior position. Which 2 of those would you like to pick?
I'm going to create an opportunity for an ally.
Awesome.
I'm distracting so that Ari can regroup. No.
Try that again.
Try again. And then I am going to use violence to inflict a condition.
Great. What do you do in this moment, and which condition would you like to inflict? This music I'm listening to is way too peaceful.
I would like to frighten Mal with my sword.
Ooh, what do you do in this moment as you go to frighten her?
I can almost immediately after I emit that guttural growl from my chest, I raise the sword 2-handed above my head and like psych her out.
Oh my God, that's so good. Ari, you watch as your friend lunges in front of you like full mohawk, and gives you an opportunity to regroup. So on your next, whatever you plan to do next, I will give you some extra help on that your friend has given you. In the meantime, we would have other people fighting Mal, but they're not. What's going on, Danielle and Sherman?
They're fighting each other.
On the heels of this quote of I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this to prove that you are never a spare, that you've always put this person for yourself. Charming is letting nothing back. The poise, the defensive style is gone, as Charming is very is in this with her all. And with each punctuated sword swing, she's saying, I do not love with conditions attached. I do not love and expect that. I do not fulfill my duty in expectation that I will be rewarded to do it. I do it because it's right. I do it because this is what I was born to do, and I do it because I'm the only person that has the strength and the fortitude to do it, to follow it.
Are you rolling a fight roll on Danielle right now?
I would love to. Can
Go
I?
for it.
Yes.
Well, Echo did say they wanted conditions, so have at
I'm
it.
here. Just give me 5 seconds.
No worries.
You're fine. You're fine. So I add my daring to that, don't I?
Daring or grace?
Daring, easily.
I feel like
God bless
none of you have high grace, and I kind of love this for all of you.
Listen. Okay. I can do this. I can do math. That's a 13. I was stressed.
Wow. Okay, so you're gonna choose 3 of the options that I just gave Bella, and Echo.
Yeah.
You are Danielle. You are going to choose 1. So if you look at that fight list, you can pick 3 of those, and Danielle can pick 1 of those.
Okay. So I can do my 3?
Yep.
Do I choose the condition?
Yes, you do.
I'm going to go. I feel like frightened is most applicable.
Sounds good. You're going to inflict frightened. You are slashing at Danielle with your sword.
Mm-hmm.
What other 2 would you like to do?
I would, if I can walk it back and retcon. Oh, God, no. Sorry,
You don't
I
have to
didn't look
retcon
at
anything. You could.
I didn't look at the list before I did something like
No,
trying to
so
figure out
basically
what I
right
could
now,
fit in.
you could you probably are not going to be able to do an opportunity for an ally.
Yeah.
I mean, you could this could be very provoking. Is all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no. All right, I've got it.
Okay.
So I'm going to seize the superior position. That's my second choice.
Okay.
Like, I've jumped up on, like, I have the high ground, and I can.
I have the high ground.
And I point my sword at your chest, Danielle / Cinderella.
Shit.
And Charming says, "And you have been lying to me. You speak to me about truth and doing something for me, and you've been lying to me the whole time. Where have you been? Where have you been? Not with your mask, not with your disguises. Where were you when I needed you?"
All right, you're going to gain a strain on them while we all take emotional damage.
Good.
Amazing. Danielle, which 1 would you like to apply back?
God. You've already put 2 more notes on my feelings tracker with this 1 fight move.
Incredible.
Good.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Sorry, y'all, the fidget toy has come out.
You're good.
It's fine.
Note to self, sometimes your GM has a fidget toy.
Mine is also here. You're not alone.
Incredible. So what are we
Worm.
doing, Danielle?
Charming already has the guilty emotion condition, right?
Yes.
Yes. Double guilt me.
You can't double guilt.
Unfortunate.
I've got several other conditions. You've got hopeless, insecure, angry, and frightened. There's gotta be one in there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, what's it called?
You can do it.
I
I believe in you.
inflict the angry condition, because that feels right.
Yeah.
That bitch
Yeah.
is so angry with Cinderella right now.
I mean, no, I get it. I absolutely get it. I am going to go ahead and say that Mal, in this moment, because you inflicted the frightened condition on her, she is going to try to take a hostage. You see that she lifts one of the other lids and she pulls out, like, with telekinesis, Adam. She pulls him out, holds him up, and puts her sword to his throat and is like, "You can leave. You can leave."
I think Danielle, like, whips around. You said that we could have the other 3.
I changed my mind. I could spare him. He seems fairly cool. But if you don't leave now, all of them will die.
And this is who you... Danielle, you're Danielle. Charming looks at you again, Cinderella/Danielle, and says, and this is who you throw your lot in with?
You take psychic damage.
I take all of the psychic damage.
At the same time, you see that with her
I'm
other
so sorry.
hand, she shatters the lid of the glass coffin, and I need Bella or Ari to make me a defy disaster, as it is the shards of glass are exploding by you. You can either both make a defy disaster, or if one of you wants to try to push the other out of the way. But this is a moment of like, oh god, we're about to get like glass shrapnel.
I think Bella would try to. She's already stepped up in front of Ari, and positioned herself. So I'm gonna go
Are you
for
okay
it.
with that?
Yeah.
Right. Which stat are you rolling? Daring? I'm assuming daring?
Yes.
Great. What'd you roll?
So I have a 9 plus 2 is 11.
Okay, well, first of all, you 100% succeed. You also trigger your big dyke energy. You just rolled a 10 plus.
Oh,
Who
yes.
here is impressed or intrigued with you?
I want Mal to be.
Amazing. What do you do in this wildly successful moment as you get you and Ari out of the way and impress Mal while doing so?
I'd like to swipe with my leg and swipe it under Mal and just take her out.
Incredible. So you kind of like, as you're going, knock her down, so she releases her like telekinetic grip on the glass. It all falls to the ground. She looks at you like, okay, cool, real cool, still gonna do the thing, really cool. And Ari, oh, so you get a string on, I believe you get a string. Do you get a string? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you gain one string scene when you gain.
Oh, okay. No, that hasn't happened yet.
Nope.
But she is impressed with you. If you do a fight move and you choose to get a string on her, or you get a string on a friend, you can also do that.
Okay.
Ari, you find yourself, like, Mal is on the ground. She's looking up at you. Adam's hovering in the air. She still has her sword. What would you like to do in this moment?
Oh, and for the 3 experience, I can pick another move for my playbook?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Let me see really quick.
So for those of you at home, if you gain 3 experience in a one-shot, 5 experience in a campaign, you can take another move from your playbook, take a move from any playbook, as long as it's not a special move that you can't, add +1 to or add +1 to a stat. You can do each of those things 2 times until you reach the end of your thing, and you can switch to a new playbook, but we're not going to get there tonight.
I think, Ari, yeah, I'm gonna use, my playbook move. It wasn't all bad. Ari's really trying to talk this out because she doesn't want to fight.
I understand completely.
So when you encounter someone whose perspective is different from your, from that of your companions, share a relevant story from your home culture and roll plus spirit.
I love her so goddamn much.
Ari just really doubling down. Mal, you don't have to be a terrible person to get power, and you don't have to kill the princes. Do you think that they're wonderful people and that everyone just loves them so much because they're so wonderful? They're flawed, but you don't have to be like this.
What's the relevant home story from your home?
And as like she's talking about the princess, I left my home. I didn't try to kill people for power. I left, and I tried to make a life for myself.
Sorry. I just love this idea. I mean, I left home and I didn't try to kill anybody.
Look, you can just walk away, you know?
I love Ari so fucking much. Roll your spirit.
It's a 12.
Oh my god!
Yes!
You gain a string on Mal, and you're either going to take a +1 forward to interact with her specifically, or give that +1 forward to your companion. And they will tell you something interesting about their upbringing. That's just gonna happen.
Oh, does anyone need a +1?
I think take it for yourself, girl.
Yeah, do it. Do it
All
for
right.
yourself. Absolutely. She looks at you, and she kind of looks at you with, like, the look that someone gives someone where it's like, you're adorable, and I don't know what to make of you, and I don't want to kill you. And she looks and she goes, listen, I get it. I also left home. I left a group of wizards and witches who didn't understand that not every power stays in the same way. But now I'm doing what my power is telling me to do. Why is that so wrong?
But what is your powers telling you to kill people?
I'm trying to siphon power from worthless people to become more powerful and help them. It makes sense in my head, okay?
But there are other ways. It's Aria's just like, the confusion is just like, there are other solutions to this problem.
This
Bella.
right now is giving Jennifer's body. You're killing people. No, I'm killing boys.
Boys. I will admit that with all the love in my heart to all my friends who are men and boys, there is a little bit of Jennifer's body in Mal. I'm not even going to remotely lie. Bella, what are you doing in this moment? You have just stopped the glass from going. You have knocked Mal to the ground. Mal has put her sword down while she's listening to Ari, so at least there's like something happening. What would you like to do? Do you want to fight her again?
Get that poor shy man.
This poor shy man just hovering
He's
in
so
the air.
shy.
Yeah, I think that seems less threatening in the moment. So I think she's going to switch her focus to, I don't know what move this would be, but trying to
There
get...
wouldn't really be a move unless you were fighting her specifically. I will say there will probably be a defy disaster that comes with it, because you're basically running in, ignoring her in her range of weapon, and going to grab him. So I think as you run in to grab him, she is going to grab her sword and swipe at you, and I need you to make me a roll of your choice to defy disaster. What are you willing to sacrifice to get Adam out of here?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Don't sacrifice the Mohawk. It's too important.
I know she's not willing to sacrifice her friends, but probably more herself. She's willing to sacrifice her own safety to try to help others. And
that protective streak.
It just, because of the situation, it's not high. I don't have high points in it, but I think this seems like, it's going to need like some grace, some swiftness and elegance to try to get to him and get him out. So
sounds good. Go for it.
Oh no.
What
That's
was
a
it?
5.
Right, that is a fail. Mark an XP. However, you run forward and you are bigger than you remember. You have embraced this very socially awkward body, this body that is not within conventions. And as you go to grab Adam, you see his claws, your claws rip into him as you grab him. And there's this moment of, what is the moment that goes through your head as you realize you have hurt him in trying to save him?
Just guilt. Like, how did I do this? I didn't mean to do this. I was trying to help.
You're going to take the guilty condition. You see Mal kind of gets up and goes, see, you will sacrifice your own well-being for these stupid people who don't care about you. Danielle and Charming, while your friends are battling an evil sorceress, what's going on?
Can we, we've got the sword, the blade, let's get right up in each other's faces. So,
I think this might be the last round of combat, you guys.
Yeah.
Just a heads up.
And considering Danielle has a fucking dagger, they're like way up in each other's faces with this crossed blade situation. Hold on. Let me find off the page, gang.
What are you looking for?
I don't even know.
Well, that's not helpful.
You can do
What are you
it. I
looking
believe
for?
in you.
Stuff and things.
Why don't you take the lead on this, Charming? Because
I
don't know what I'm
can.
doing.
See, again, just for a little bit of flavor, because, like, you know, we got each other at the very start, but we both elected not to do our question. I'm going to trot out my question then, and I am going to ask, like, you know, we're straight up in each other's faces. You can see the glimmer of red in the pink of Charming's eyes, and she asks you very honestly, why would you do this? What do you hope to get from killing my brother?
Oh, God. There is...
If I asked you to stop, if I asked you to please stop, would you do it? I'm just going for your throat, Echo.
You are, in fact.
I don't feel bad about it.
There's clearly, like, a glimmer of tears in their eye. Like, you can see they are on the verge of crying when you ask this. And there's just the tiniest whisper. You. First part, you know, why are you doing this or something?
Yeah. What do you hope to get from doing this, effectively?
Yeah. And, like, they know that, like, obviously if they do this, it wouldn't get Charming because that's gonna break Charming's heart. But their head's a little twisted. Let's be real here. And so you got the glimmer of tear in the eye and there's the tiny whispered you. And then, so the follow-up question of, would they stop if you asked them to? It's, their head just kind of like falls and it's another whispered yes. And, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily declared smitten, but it's kind of an obvious, there's a thing there.
All right. When you become smitten, say why, give them a string on you, and answer the question in your truths of heart and blade. So take a string on Danielle, and that, why have you become smitten with Charming?
So, become smitten with Charming.
Are you kidding? Look at me.
I mean, yeah, they're gay, obviously. But part of it is just watching Charming be who they are. And yes, it frustrates Cinderella that they see themselves as despair, but they also see this strength and this heart in who Charming is and how they do things. And my truths of heart and blade question is, what secret do you have that you think would make them reject you if they do it? I'm pretty sure that secret is they want to kill their brother, and they've already figured that out, so...
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a secret anymore.
Charming, what do you do in this moment?
I think, Charming... Okay, so, like, be chill, it's okay, everything's cool. But, like, you know, there's a glimmer of a hardness in Charming's brow, and she thrusts her sword to the side, to throw, like, not to throw your dagger out of your arm, but so, like, you know, to break the sword, like, the hold. Like, you know, steps into your face. Like, gay. Like, a glimmer of space between the two of you. And she looks down at you.
To finally kiss in a dangerous situation.
We'll see. And she says, she looks at you and she says, I don't know if I can give you what you are asking of me. I don't think I can do it.
It goes from like a glimmer of tears, so there's definite tears rolling down their cheeks.
I don't know how to try.
I understand.
Do you?
Don't like it. But yes, I understand.
I still don't understand why. No, not about him. I don't understand why you went away.
Are you saying like why Cinderella
Yeah,
went
yeah.
away?
She says, I don't understand why you went away. She's going to follow that up with, because again, I'm here. I want to, like, you know, I'm here for your throat at all times, Echo. And she's going to sort of shake her head while poor Ari and Bella are fighting for their lives in like the background.
Poor Ari and Bella are over here fighting the big bad, and the two of you are just gaying it up over here.
Sorry.
Make it more gay. It's fine.
And she says quietly, just like, you know, I thought it was going to kill me when you were going to marry him, but you disappearing killed me more. So I had nothing else to do. I had nothing left to live for apart from him, and that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been trying to do.
I feel like at this point,
Yeah.
Mal is now just eating popcorn and offering it to Ari and Bella. Like, listen, I know we got like this like plot going on right now, but holy crap, do you two like each other? Is that a thing? Like, I don't.
Ari's just like looking back at like what's going on. Huh.
What?
Okay.
What's wrong?
Feelings.
Right, we should probably go back to fighting. You see that, in this last moment, you, as the battle begins to reach its peak, you see that she lets down Adam. You see, Ari, that Bella is not looking great. And you see that she looks at you, and she's clearly still very scared of Bella, and she says, listen, I'm not gonna stop, so you can let me go right now, or you can try to kill me. I'm not gonna come with you and play nice. You can let me go and have your stupid little princes, or you can kill me. That's your choice.
That's our choice.
Yeah. You can let me go, or you can try to kill me right now, and I'll try to kill you back. I'm not gonna come with you and play super nice and wonderful. I'm not gonna become a good person. You can either let me go right now, or we can fight this out.
Just let her go. It's not worth our time.
Ouch, okay.
So I don't know if I told you the conviction that I picked up earlier.
You didn't.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, this one shot's going on for 5 more hours. I don't make the rules.
No.
Oh no!
No, so for, always answer an insult with a drawn sword, I took the conviction, when I see something unjust, I will educate those who can learn to do better and challenge those who must be overcome.
I love Ari so stinking much. Do you get like a look on your face while you're about to give her a lecture?
Yeah, it's like, I know I could probably have a very long lecture discussion, and I kind of stop. Why do you keep refusing us?
Because I don't want to have your buddy sleepover. I want to go get enough power to be an insanely powerful sorceress. Again, I don't really get what's hard to understand about this. I'm gonna go unless you stop me. And she starts walking off.
Can I be like super gay and grab her hand and stop her?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
You grab her hand and she looks at you and just goes, "What are you doing?"
Well, I think that you can be a better person. And she's just like, the insecurities really like just like blush on the face. I think that you can be a better person.
Roll me an entice check.
Is there anything any of us can do to assist?
If you spend a string, yes, one of the strings that you have on her.
I'm sorry, Ari. I've given you all my strings.
I will spend one of my strings.
I would like to spend a string as well.
All right, and you get a +1 forward, and 2 strings, so 2 more +1s.
So it's a 10 with all the strings.
You're going
Nice.
you're gonna gain a string on Mal. She gets really flustered and really awkward, and she's just like, you see this like very powerful goth mommy just go, like, yeah, you're really cute. Can I have like a week to think about it? Do I have a way to contact you? Like, I can't really make a choice right now. Like, can we meet up for coffee in like a week and I can tell you how I'm feeling about it?
You just kidnapped 4 royal dignitaries.
Charming. Ari's having a moment here.
I mean, I don't really want to put you on the spot, but like, Charming's not wrong. You kind of stole everyone and then threatened to murder everyone, and I mean, like, I think you have potential to be a really good person.
Okay, but which one is it? You're saying like I can be a good person, but now you're like giving me shit for the bad stuff I do. So like,
I mean, like, I'm not really giving you shit, but like, it's got to be dinner at least. We're going out for dinner. We're not going out for coffee.
fine.
Yo, bitch, this is not a bad form of accountability to take. Dinner is better than a cell.
No. Yep. No, I hear ya. I will take you out to dinner, and you are so lucky. You're cute.
I think when Charming says that, Danielle looks at them. Am I going to end up in a cell for what I tried to do? They're still like face to face.
Oh yeah, straight up.
Just for some spicy talk later, like, you know, some spicy elbows later, Charming looks back at you, Danielle, and she says, "I don't know. I haven't decided yet."
I think,
Odd, understandingly.
with the promise of a dinner later with this evil villain, we are going to go ahead and fast forward to the epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
It is about that time. So let's take a quick moment to, I'm going to say all of you are on the beach. There is a bonfire going. The boys have decided to cook for you and take care of all of you. Anything that you need, they will take care of. Bella, you get a little leaf in the breeze from Daphne because she's gonna collect on that date. and you, Ari, realize that in your hand now you have like a very small like raven charm that looks like your way to summon for your dinner. And what is the last image we see of our princesses as you finally get to relax on the beach and celebrate your victory by basically telling Mal, don't be a bitch and take Ari out to dinner.
Bella's
Charming.
got her spot set
Go on.
up, and
Mhm.
she's reading like usual, and the little leaf invite from Daphne is her little bookmark.
You see that
That's gay.
Adam brings you like a drink and is like so supportive. He's just like, listen, I always thought you were like super cute, but if you're more into like this nymph, that sounds great. Like, and he is like totally into being your buddy.
We can still be study buddies.
I'm so glad that we're friends. And
Yeah, he 100% sits with you and talks about books, and you two become good friends, and you look forward to a forest date. What about everyone else? What's the final image that we're left with?
Ari, you go for it.
I had a feeling.
I think I'd actually be sitting down talking with Eric. And like
Yeah.
talking about dinner. And just be like, Eric, okay, we're going to dinner. I know
Right.
that you know really good places to eat.
Oh, okay, but do you like seafood, or is that like a little too like close to like your friends?
That's a little too close to my friends,
Okay,
maybe
not seafood.
not there.
Okay, so I do know there's a really good farm to table place in the south. I think it has some vegetarian options. I actually took a date there recently, and we ended up just being friends. Her name was Vanessa, and I think she just had a lot of stuff she needed to sort out. But yeah, I can recommend a couple places for sure. I can definitely tell you what to avoid.
Yeah, I think Mal has a lot going on too. Maybe like if you want to like come on the date and like sit in. I don't know. I don't know if I said this was like a date, but I said it was dinner. I don't know if that was too forward now.
I think you definitely asked the
Oh.
evil witch on a date.
Oh,
Double date.
Oh.
Double date.
you bring someone and we'll double date it.
Philip, you want to go on a date?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
man. I thought you'd never fucking ask.
yeah.
Double date.
Double
And-
date.
Last
I want Charming to sort of be marching, like, all this is going on. Charming sort of marches up to her brother and slips off her gloves and kind of, it's not rough, but just sort of puts them in his chest and just walks past him. Like, making a beeline for you, Danielle.
You
/
hear him
Cinderella.
say, "Oh my god, I'm so proud of you."
Cinderella has been sitting off by herself watching all of this because she realizes she's done a lot of things to lose her friends' trust. Lying about who they were for a while, trying to kill Charming. And so they're grateful that they haven't been excluded, but they
Or
are
thrown
kind of
in a
sitting
cell.
by themselves, or thrown in a cell. But they are kind of sitting off by themselves, just watching everyone else.
A cell of your own making.
Okay.
But
But like, sort of like it's hard to miss Charming. Like, she's visibly striding towards you, power stancing.
I was gonna say you have the lesbian power walk down pat.
And yet she's so closeted.
hi.
Hello. You did try to kill my brother. I think you can forgive that I'm still holding that a little bit against you.
Yes.
But did you mean the rest?
I didn't know how to be myself and feel the way I felt That's why I disappeared, but I didn't want to leave you all.
Who you were when we were... talking to mice in the kitchens and pretending to climb towers. That's exactly who you were to me the whole time. I didn't care about anything else. It was a little weird that you were coming in to maybe marry my brother, but that was his job. So, and I didn't like it. I wanted you to be my friend instead of whatever to him. She's like twisting a ring on her finger. But I thought doing the right thing was to stand aside. And I thought that I was the only one that felt that way. And when you left, I thought... I don't know what I thought.
I don't know what I either, but I didn't know. I didn't know how to be around you, and expected to be with Charles. And I left, and I realized that was
I'm expected to act a certain way. That's what everyone expects of me.
I don't.
Yes. And surprise flickers over Charming's face, and she says, I don't know what I'm doing.
When you walked up, did you, like, sit down in the sand with...
Oh no, he's like standing over the top of you, like...
I think they will reach up and grab your hand and, like, pull you. Whether it resolves in them standing up or you being pulled down, either way, they're going to pull you into a kiss. Assuming consent.
Yes.
And
Kiss
on that note, we are going to end our session with a sleepover on the beach with our 4 friends. And that's where we'll end our session. Yay! We did the thing! Thank you to my lovely players for being a part of this. Thank you for Records of the Realms for handing me this stream. More fool them, but I deeply appreciate it. Thank you, Mel, for being our fearless producer.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Pexels, for just crapping out at the end of it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's all good.
All you're seeing now is me. We are going to wrap it up for tonight, but as a reminder, we do have lots of events going on in Records of the Realms. If you would like to be a part of things, come chat with us. You really should consider joining the Discord. We have not just stream casting calls, but often we'll host games in just the channel, in the Discord channel, and just hang out. And we'd really love to have you wander the realms with us. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. I think, unless Mel whispers in my ear that I'm missing something, I think that is it. Thank you all so much for being here. And let me remind you all, the message of Thirsty Sword Lesbians is to... I need to find it. Jeez, I was doing so well.
Be gay and prosper?
Follow your heart. Dive headlong into danger. and be larger than life. We'll see you all later.
Bye.